Well, as the race for the 2024 presidential election heats up, some Republican candidates are going after a major key demographic, evangelical voters. In the past few months, former Vice President Mike Pence spent half of his Sundays speaking at churches around the country and will appear at the Iowa Faith and Freedom Coalition's annual spring kickoff tomorrow. But his potential rivals, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, will not be there, and President Trump will appear via video message. NewsNation finding that evangelical Christian voters represent nearly 1/3 of voters for the past 3 elections. Correspondent Robert Sherman is live. So, Robert, tell us, how crucial is it to secure these voters early?
Oh, extremely crucial, Nicole. These evangelical voters have a long history in Republican politics of really playing a defining role in the party, and will likely continue that again and play a big role in determining who's atop the ticket in 2024.
You can't win the presidency without the evangelical vote.
Bob Vander Plaats is CEO of the Family Leader, an influential Christian conservative organization. He says right now, Republican evangelical voters have an open mind heading into the 2024 election as to who they want to see atop the ticket.
They want somebody of strong character, somebody that they can trust, somebody that has proven competency. And really, you put a third C in there's kind of the chemistry. Are they the right person at the right time who can win?
Former President Trump was able to win the white evangelical vote handily in the last 2 elections, but lost about 5% of support from 2016 to 2020. One of those voters was Sandy Orth of Des Moines, Iowa, a lifelong Republican who voted for now President Biden in 2020 because she couldn't stand how former President Trump behaved. And she fears the party is leaving Christian conservatives behind.
It doesn't seem to me that there are many candidates in the Republican Party that are talking about these values.
Voters like Orth have a track record of showing up to the polls. In 2020, evangelicals made up less than 15% of the population, but 28% of the electorate. As such, we're seeing South Carolina Senator Tim Scott and former Vice President Mike Pence make it a point to try and secure those voters. The former vice president telling NewsNation's own Leland Vittert it's time to get back to those values.
Whether they're Christian or Jewish or Muslim, faith is so important to people across this country.
At an event this morning, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis made it a point to invoke his faith during his remarks.
Our rights are not the courtesy of the government, but are a gift from Almighty God.
Orth isn't sure what she'll do with her vote, but she's keeping an open mind.
My faith will play a big part of how I will vote. And so I'm still waiting for a candidate that I can be excited about and get behind.
So you hear 2 different divergences of thought here, Nicole. On the one hand, you have people who say they're looking for a candidate that perfectly upholds their values. On the other hand, you have people who are looking for a candidate who has the best shot at winning the general election in 2024. Sometimes those 2 trains of thought do coincide with one another, but not always.
Right.
Nicole.
Trying to find that balance. Okay. Thank you, Robert. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.